What's up, everybody? It's Gomlet, and welcome back to another traditional draft of Ravnica Allegiance. Let's see if we find out if I ever stop forcing stupid archetypes that won't work out. So here we have Revival and Revenge. Turn a creature card with CMC 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, or double your life total and half your opponent's life total. That seems pretty cool. I don't know how good that is on either of the sides. Revenge could probably kill somebody out of nowhere, especially in an Orzhov archetype where you have your afterlife tokens to get in there for that last little bit of damage. And Revival, basically play a 2-mana card to get a 3-mana card back from your grave. That also, I feel like Reanimating is probably pretty good with afterlife cards as well, so that seems like a pretty strong pick. But let's check out what else is in here. Sentinel's Mark, I like Sentinel's Mark a lot. Angelic Exaltation, I've seen that be very strong in your Orzhov decks, Afterlife decks, stuff like that. Just because then you just start attacking with one creature and you're still saving up a bunch of blockers, and the one creature you're attacking with is super big. The rest of these cards are not exciting at all. I think the next best card would be Grotesque Demise. So I think these 4 are the strongest cards in this pack, and I'm just going to take the Revival and Revenge. Because the other thing about this card is that Revival itself is decent, so this doesn't even force me into Orzhov if I end up getting something really good for Azorius or Rakdos that makes me want to play just that guild. It's possible I do that and maybe just splash Revenge off of one guild gate or something like that. So this pack, there's a Pitiless Pontiff. I think that card's really good. Basically, you can just have a really good blocker where any of their creatures that don't have flying just straight up trade for your weakest creature, because all you have to do is spend 1 mana, sacrifice whichever creature you care about the least, and then you give this Death Touch Indestructible, and you just block, Gruul's massive 7/7 or whatever and kill it. So I like that card a lot. The Syndicate Guildmage, I haven't had a time to play it just yet. It definitely looks like my least favorite of the Guildmages, just on a base level, but I could definitely see how those two abilities together could stack up pretty nicely. It definitely seems like it's probably good against Gruul, just because it locks down one of their attackers. Good against Simic as well. There's just a lot of creatures with power 4 or greater, and then the secondary ability is a way to chip in damage in the late game and maybe get them killed. But I do think I like the Pitiless Pontiff more than that. Other cards here, there's Bullwreck Clan Crusher. That card is very good with Riot cards. Plague White, I think, is a pretty good 2-drop. And other than that, a bunch of average cards. Aramunculus is really good. Savage Smash is really good. But I think I'm going to take the really good card that stays with our colors so far. So I'll pick up the Pitiless Pontiff. This pack, there is a Blade Juggler. Blade Juggler is just a premium card. Card is very good. There's also a Orzhov Racketeers, which I think works with our first couple picks a bit better, because I do think we want Afterlife cards. Let's see. Yeah, it's between the Racketeers and the Blade Juggler for me. Undercity's Embrace could be okay. The only thing I don't like about this card is obviously they get to choose what creature they sacrifice, so as soon as they have just like a 2/1 and a 4/4, you're just going to kill the creature that doesn't matter, which is the 2/1 in that case. See, a Racketeers or Blade Juggler, do I want to pick the card that goes better thematically, or do I want to pick the card that I just think is stronger? I mean, I haven't gotten a chance to play with this card, and I've seen a lot of people playing it, so this card might actually be pretty strong as well. I feel like its ability to make them discard cards is really good if you can ever manage to get around their stuff, but a 3/2 on turn 5 isn't really going to get past much of anything. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the Racketeers, though. It just combos with our cards better right now. It fits into this deck better. As good as this card is, I feel like what balances this card is that Orzhov and Rakdos very rarely want this card. Because in Rakdos you have a bunch of early creatures, so you're probably going to be killing your own creatures. And in Orzhov, none of your Afterlife stuff's going to trigger because it just gets exiled. So it's like an anti-Rakdos and Orzhov card in Rakdos and Orzhov's colors, which is pretty weird. But I do think it is a really strong card. I just don't think that we want it. Because the thing is, like, the things that you really want to get rid of in Orzhov or Rakdos are the giant creatures. You want to get rid of the Gruul stuff and the Simic stuff. And the Azorius Flyers, which some of them tend to be pretty large. I guess there are some Azorius Flyers with like 2 toughness, but I feel like most of our deck is going to be little guys like these and flying tokens. So I'm just going to take the Syndicate Messenger. Maybe it's right to just take the Cry, because it is a very strong card, even though it does not synergize super well with this deck so far. So there's a Gate Colossus. I feel like Gate Colossus is good in most decks, but kind of like just taking Final Payment here and getting a removal spell. Yeah, don't really want to go big on the Gate Colossus. We don't even have a gate yet at all. So it's between the Syndicate Messenger and the Senate Griffin. Both of those are pretty good. I think I'd rather have the Syndicate Messenger. Again, just because it combos better with the Pontiff to have some Afterlife creatures here. There's a High Alert if I want to put that in the sideboard, just in case something funny happens. Other than that, there's an Ill-Gotten Inheritance, and I think that card's actually okay, so I will pick that up. And maybe end up playing it. Undercity Scavenger. That could be okay. With some more Afterlife stuff. There's also another Ill-Gotten Inheritance, so I don't know which one I'd prefer. There's also a Junk Troller, which I guess Junk Troller works with High Alert. Which is what I tried to draft last time and it just didn't work at all. So yeah, I think it's between these two. I'm gonna take the Undercity Scavenger, just because I feel like I see the bots letting Ill-Gotten Inheritance go very late picks. So I feel like I'll be able to pick up more of these if I want to try to just run that as the deck. Definitely taking Sentinel's Mark here. Pick up a Watchful Giant. It is multiple creatures. I get a little 1/1 as sacrifice fodder. If I want that kind of stuff here, I'll just take a Guild Gate. I'll just take a Macabre Mockery. Does Scrabbling Claws even do anything? Not really. I guess I'll throw an Exposed to Daylight in the sideboard. It can be good against some decks. It definitely was good against my deck yesterday, with all my enchantment-based removal. Alright, here we have Font of Agonies, which I do have one thing to actually pay life right now, so if there was ever a time to try it, I think now is still not that time, because I only have one thing to pay life for, so I don't think this is going to do much. There's a Blade Juggler, which I like. There's a Consign to the Pit, which is removal, and another Syndicate Messenger. I like this pack quite a bit. I'm going to pick up the Blade Juggler, though. I like the Orator a lot. It's a 2-drop that gets you value later. There's also a Knight of Sorrows, but that might wheel. And there's a Gruesome Demise, which is good at killing little creatures, but I think I probably just prefer removal spells that can kill any creature in your Orzhov decks, where you've got these low mana cost cards and Afterlife triggers and stuff like that. I feel like I'm just trading off for little creatures, like creatures with power 3 or less. So I don't really need the removal for them. So I'm going to pick up an Orator. There's a Resolute Watchdog, which is an okay card. Basically, just for 1 mana, it takes one of their removal spells to save one of your other creatures. Alright, what do we got here? Not a very good pack for us. There's an Undercity's Embrace, or a 1/3 Menace, or a 3/2. Give some +1/+1 when it comes into play. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures. So I don't think I'm hurting on creatures so much that I need to pick up a 3/2. So I probably just take Undercity's Embrace. Not a major fan of this or that, but I gotta take one of them. It's the only card I could play. I'm gonna go ahead and scooch these all over. To have my 3 mana slot here. Put Blade Juggler in there, because that is what we're hoping for. This pack... Man, I feel like we're getting cut on Orzhov. I could take another Ill-Gotten Inheritance, or I could take a Lawmage's Binding and try and pick up some Guild Gates. I think Lawmage's Binding is a good enough card that you can use it later in the game, so it's okay off a splash. But I have not seen like any Orzhov Guild Gates yet, or Zorius Guild Gates, but I also haven't really been looking, so I don't know. I think I'm just gonna take the Ill-Gotten Inheritance here. Could be the wrong pick. Maybe we do just splash in the maybe we do just splash in the removal spell. I want to try out this Gigantic Knight. It is a whole bunch of mana, so it's probably just not great because of that, but I don't know, it's Afterlife 3, and it gives us a sack outlet. Could be okay. I think this pack's a pretty easy Oligarch, so I'll pick that up. Still not seeing any Orzhov Guild Gates. Maybe there was one in the last pack, I didn't really check. I think I'll take the Death Touch guy, take a Crocodile, might even play it. Knight of Sorrows. Rhythm of the Wild this late. This is the problem with drafting against bots. It would be pretty nice if there were an arena format where you're drafting against actual players, so that you don't run into the triple Rhythm of the Wild deck. Because I feel like that just should not happen. Actual draft. Alright, well, I don't think Kaya is good in Limited at all. But it's Kaya? Literally, what other time are you gonna play a Kaya? Yeah, she just does nothing in Limited. So you play her, you exile 2 cards from their graveyard, they attack her for 2 with their 2/1, and then you do it, like, she does nothing. Like, actually nothing. She can exile non-land permanents with converted mana cost of 1 or less, and that's probably like the most impact she has on the game, unless you get really lucky. If you get really lucky and they let you get to 5, even in Limited, what's most likely is that they've only had 2 or 3 cards go into their graveyard that whole time. So if she gets to 5 for her ultimate, you drain them for like 3 life. Seems really bad. But the thing is, if I'm gonna pick it, I'm gonna play it. It's Kaya. How can you not play Kaya? That is the correct thing, is to not play Kaya. I think the correct pick in this pack is probably Vindictive Vampire or an Oligarch. There's also the Guildgate here, so I really hope I wheel one of those, but I'm just gonna take... I'm just gonna take the Kaya, because when else do you get the opportunity to play one? I think Orzhov Enforcer is really good, so I'm gonna take that. It's a 2-mana 1/2 with Death Touch, and it has Afterlife 1. I think Grasping Thrall's really good, so I'll take that. This pack's pretty bad. I did get an opportunity to get this Officer if I end up wanting to play it. Take another Watchdog. Yeah, I like me a Doge. Another Final Payment, pretty easy pick. I think I'm going to take the Guildgate here, because this deck now has 26 cards, and I get to start cutting things. And I don't need to be just taking playable cards, I can just take lands at this point. I'll take a Locket, probably not playing it. We did wheel the Vindictive Vampire, that's pretty nice. Toss that in there. Pick up another Guildgate, I like that better than the 3/1. Again, I don't like 1 toughness creatures in this format. Exposed to Daylight for the sideboard. I guess I'll take the Wayfinder because it's more rare, just for collection reasons. Already have a shit ton of Quench, I think, so I guess I'll take a Volley. Take a Caretaker. And a Growth Spiral, very last pick. That's cute, because that might actually do something in Standard. I think Explorer is a good card in Standard. Alright, so I like all these cards. I guess I don't really like him. My 3-drops are really just non-existent, so I think I'm just playing another 2-mana card on turn 3. Just a little awkward. So we have 43 cards in the deck. I could take out the Ill-Gottens. So I don't actually know how good they'll be. Maybe I'd take out the Crocodile. And just start taking out some of these really high mana cards here. So I could take out like a Watchful Giant or a Knight of Last Breath. I honestly do think that the correct thing to do is take Kaya out. But the last time I draft, I forced High Alert, and it didn't work at all. And then the time I drafted before that, I forced Goblin Gathering, so these are not videos about the right thing to do. These are videos about the Gomlet thing to do. Is Ill-Gotten Inheritance really that great? I like the card, but I'm not sure. Maybe we just take them out. I like that we have a lot of sideboard options. So I'll try out versions of this deck that run the Officer and versions that run the Inheritance out of the sideboard. But for now, we're just gonna run it like this. Yeah. Let's check how the mana is. Do I have any double symbols? Nope, I only need 1 of each color. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 white cards, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black cards. And then every multicolored I have is both of them, so I think 8-7 is a good split. Maybe I actually just want 1 less black mana, because I also have 1 mana white card, so I do really want to hit white on turn 1. I guess we could count the Twilight Panther as a multicolored card, in which case I have 7 white cards and 6 black cards, and the rest are multicolored, so then that's pretty even. Yeah, I think the mana base is fine. Let's hop into a match and see how this does. I need to change my deck image. I need to change my deck image because it is an image of the Ill-Gotten Inheritance, which is not even in the deck anymore. So I think the thing about Kaya also when you're sorting it by mana cost is that the only time she really does anything at all, I think, is going to be late game. So I should probably sort the Kaya as just another late game card. Alright. We're playing against blue. Could be Simic. Looks like it is Simic. Pretty slow start here, but our deck is pretty slow. I mean, we have a gigantic pile of 2-mana cards, so it's a little awkward we didn't get one of those, but other than that, our deck is pretty slow. There's quite a few, like 6 and 7s. I think I'm just going to make them sacrifice that. It's an instant, so I might as well do it during their turn. Whenever they cast another creature and have that on the stack or something. Of course, they could have a quench here, but I think I am a fan of them just quenching to save a 2/2. It can be a 6/6 later, but I just get to cast a Syndicate Messenger next turn, and then their hybrid is not even big enough to deal with it. Unless they spend like a pump spell. Alright, well this is clearly a pump spell, but I'm gonna get it out of here. Fairy Duelist. Okay, that actually just does nothing. So that is fine with me. I have prevented the damage. Now they're playing a bunch of little baby flyers. I think we just send in. No blocks from opponent. Here's a Grasping Thrall to steal some life. So they have 2 instants in their grave for Terramander, so that costs 6? Yeah, it costs 6 mana total to do that now. They've got the Skatewing Spy. So they're setting up for a pretty explosive adaptation later. I could Revenge to go to 40 and they go to 8. That's pretty cool. But I can't just like kill them off of that, fortunately. So I think I want to save that for like when I can definitely just kill them after their life is halved. So hopefully I get them to chump here. I think there is an argument for just casting that right now, because this is the most life gain I'll ever get out of it. Would I rather have an Order and an Oligarch or a Watchful Giant? I think I'll just gain a life here and have some ground forces. So that thing costs 6 to adapt, Terramander costs 6 to adapt. The Skitter Eel, that costs 3 to adapt, so the Skitter Eel could be a 5/5 flyer, that could be a pretty big problem. It's got an Orzhov Racketeers and a Watchful Giant or a Revenge. It's half their life rounded up, so they go to 5 and now they have to start chumping. Yeah, I think I'll just do that now. Yep. Get chumping, boy. They're down to 3. So they can adapt their Skitter Eel, and then they have 2 flying blockers. This is a little rough, so I can't attack next turn, really. Alright. That also lets them have 2 flying blockers. So if I attack with Messenger and Thrall, they block and kill the Thrall, and I kill their Terramander. Or they go to 1. Yeah, I think I'm fine trading a Thrall for a Terramander. I think we send in the Afterlife guy to turn it into a flyer as well. because now they have to adapt their flying dude of some form. So they probably adapt the skitter eel next turn. Alright. So they currently have one creature that can block flyers, and I have 2 flyers out. But they can adapt one of their guys. I think I dropped the Racketeers because that'll turn into 2 more flyers. They're gonna attack, no blocks, easy. So I get to hit him for 1 in the air, get another flyer. Yeah? I'm just trying to get there off quantity of flyers. That's awkward. It's a pretty good draw. Or not draw, pretty good play from the opponent. I still get to hit him for 1, though. Okay, I was gonna say, if they block like that, I still get to hit him for 1. What are they gonna do about the Racketeers? Okay, nice. I hit him for 1. Now I have 3 flyers. Or actually, I have 4 flyers. So they need more flying blockers. So next turn they turn their hybrid into a flying blocker. I guess also I could just attack with everybody. If I get in with 2 creatures, they're dead. So now it doesn't matter what's flying and what's not. It just matters the quantity of creatures. So yep, they are dead next turn. And I think they did the math before me. Alright, would I have liked the ill-gotten inheritance in that game? Yeah, that would have drained the last few life there. I think ill-gotten inheritance is a good combo with with revenge. What do I take out? Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe I throw these in, take out some of the high mana cards. Take out the Knight of the Last Breath? I don't know, 3 1/1 flyers would have been really good in that game. Near the end there. I do think I want to bring my curve down against the Simic deck, because once they start adapting things, all their stuff's just way bigger. So I just want to race them. I don't think we actually saw any targets for the Resolute Watchdog. So maybe we just take him out. Yeah, they're in green-blue, so like... They had like a pump spell. I could have used the Watchdog to save something from a pump spell, but it's nothing that incredible, so I think I will just take the Watchdog out. The Watchdog also isn't really blocking much of anything. He can block their 2/2 for a bit, but a lot of their creatures were just like base 3/3. Or not a lot of them, but their Skitter Eel was. I think I'll keep this and hope to draw better. Alright. His hand's not phenomenal. But at least our opponent's hand is not either. They don't get to start their curve at 2. They don't even get to start their curve at 3. That makes me happy. I'm not going to play the Enforcer. I think I'm just going to embrace whatever their first creature is. Yeah, so I'll embrace that. Sorry about the notification sounds. Give me 1 1 second. Alright, I think I like just dropping the messenger out before the enchantment. Skatewing Spy takes 6 to adapt, so they can adapt it next turn to make it a 4/5 flyer. Well, that's pretty awkward. That is better than our stuff, for sure. I think I just play the Thrall, and I might even just not attack, because 4/5 flyer I can block with both of these and trade. Yeah. See if they want to just play something else instead. Nothing from our opponents. I think I'll just play out the Inheritance then. And try and just stall the game out. Drop a Twilight Panther to deal with anything that they have on the ground. Definitely want to get rid of this Skatewing Spy here. That way any of their other adapt creatures are actually on the ground to be dealt with by the Panther. Alright, use your pump spell. Okay. God, they put so many cards in this set that just hose Afterlife. Kaya? They've got 2 cards in grave. I could play Kaya and gain 2. I think I play the Racketeers and then they just don't want to attack anymore. Jesus Christ. Seems pretty good. Wrecking Beast. Could I draw a removal spell ever? The answer is no. I did get my sacrifice spell, but I have not drawn final payment at all against them. And it's pretty good against them. It's pretty necessary right now. So that's kind of irritating. Alright, well I get to turn that into some flyers so I can actually block.
I like a good fight. Notice I didn't say fair. Hold your bags and hit the road.
Alright, well the auto tapper should not have used double black on Kaya, but it doesn't matter because the Panther's tapped. But still, just in case something crazy happens. Of course the Wrecking Beast has trample. Well, Kaya accomplished her goal, which was to make them think that she's useful at all. So she saved 7 life for me. Or she saved more than 7, because I also gained 2, so I basically just gained 9 life off Kaya. Skatewing Spy. Yeah, I think the thing that opponent should have noticed about Kaya is that she gained 2 life there. And then I gained 2 life from exiling cards from my own graveyard. And then she does 2 damage to them, because they only have 2 exiled cards. So yeah, Kaya's pretty bad. But she's a planeswalker, so that scares people, so that's nice. So I don't really know if I want to block or not here. I guess I'm at quite a bit of life, and I have some life gain stuff still, so I'll just keep the tokens. Terramander. You're not a final payment. Final payment is the only card I need. These aren't blocking anything. Let's see if I get to kill some of their dudes. Looks like that is a no. Seems good. So if I take it all, I'm taking 16. Yeah, that can't happen. Guess I'll just take 7 for now. Jesus Christ, could I ever draw removal? I know there's only 2 in here, but I'm halfway through my deck. And last game I got like 10 cards through the deck. Didn't draw the final payment. It would be nice. That's all I'm saying. So I have no choice but to die here, so let's go to the next game. Alright, I never had enough mana for the giant. He was just sitting in my hand doing nothing. They didn't have any artifacts or enchantments that were spooky at all. Resolute Watchdog could save a flyer against their card that just says, "Are you playing Afterlife? Ha, you lose." I don't think I have anything else. I could put in a 3/7, but it doesn't really do much against flyers. Really just need to final payment the flying dude that gives all their other guys flying. So I gotta take a card out. Take a Watchful Giant out, I guess. Could also just take Kaya out, but she did stop 9 damage there, that was cute. Yeah, Kaya's just so bad. Just so bad. Like, that game went relatively long, and they only had 2 cards in their grave, ever. She was just straight not gonna do anything. It's kind of depressing how tremendously bad Kaya is right now. Like, she is only a constructed plant, and she's not even good for constructed right now, which means that there's probably going to be something in the next set that she's good at killing. And then she can be somewhat useful. But for now, she's quite bad. Alright, we have the final payment to get their flying jerkwad. Got double Orzhov Guild Gate, so our mana's basically perfect. If it needs to be. Gyre Engineer, that's a pretty good start for them. Not gonna destroy that. Because, like, if I destroy that next turn, they just play a land and play their dude that gives all their +1/+1 counter guys flying, and I'm just super screwed. Gyre Engineer and a Hybrid. Okay, so we can just pretend that they played Hybrid on turn 2, and then all they did this turn was an Engineer. Which is super fine. So I can Sentinel's Mark, or I can Ill-Gotten Inheritance. They have the mana to pump the Hybrid now, because they have double Gyre Engineer. just gonna drop the inheritance and attack them. Not gonna chump block their 6/6. If that's what they want to do this turn. Well, that's pretty bad. It's a 7/7 trample. God, I feel like just the green monsters in this set are so good. There's so many just massive ass dudes. I guess I can play Inheritance and save up Final Payment. Which I guess at this point I have to use on like a Wrecking Beast. I think I'm still not chumping. Well... I guess... At this point, if I have the final payment, I might as well chump one of them and destroy the other. This is awful. Just the Wrecking Beast? Guess we're not blocking. Growth Chamber Guardian. Another hybrid. Well, it was nice trying. Yeah. I can do like my best here now. Gain some life and do some damage to them. Drop a Twilight Panther to block one of their giant dudes. Maybe we get there off Ill-Gotten Inheritance, but I doubt it. Their field is insane. I think my only hope is if I can survive this turn and still have the messenger, I can do a pretty crazy revenge and just kill them, hopefully. Alright, well... we block a hybrid, take 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't think Revenge actually kills him next turn, though. Which is a big problem. Let's see what they want to do here. What? They're adapting that one? Instead of the one that's going to do 1,000,000 damage to me? Okay. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 instead of... They could have done 17 to me on board. So do I want to get Death Touch? Do I want a Final Payment? I guess I could sack the Sentinel's Mark off the Final Payment. Yeah. Very duelist. Okay. Well, then I'm definitely sacking that boy. Sacrifice a creature. Target that creature. Sack that creature. So I get to be at 26, and I get cracked back for 10, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. Go for it. There's the chump. So I did that because it forces the chump, because if they didn't block, they just die to inheritance my turn. They still die to inheritance on my turn. So I will actually block since they just die. Alright, we did it! Thanks to Inheritance's second ability. Whew. Revenge is really good. Yeah, doing it. They're the target opponent. Alright. Did not think I was winning that match. They had so many giant dudes. I was just getting overwhelmed all the time. Alright. So, what did we learn? Revenge is really good, and Kaya is completely worthless. Throw her in the garbage. Never draft her. Even though I drafted her. Don't draft like I do. Pro tip. Oh, shit. That's a mulligan. Oh, no. This should be a mulligan too, but... we can pretend that I mulligan to 5, and I have 4 lands in an orator. Why are you so bad, Kaya? I actually... watched a movie the other day with the main character named Kaya. She was a really weird character. It was the movie called Like Me, because it was recommended by Ralph the Movie Maker. Alright. I'm just gonna attack. Maybe I do just actually play Kaya and just let her get really big on counters. But I think it is just better to put more things on this board. Now they might have a Scorch Mark, which makes me really sad. If they do. On this Oligarch. Ah, I'll get Scorch Marked. Guess I should have thought of that before I did that and been like, oh, they have Scorch Mark. Clearly, it is time to Kaya. Woo, no, now is not the time to Kaya. Now is to, Pitiless Pontiff. Pitiless Pontiff. So if they want to shoot the Pontiff, then they're essentially just shooting the Orator, because I can give the Pontiff Indestructible. Undercity Scavenger. That's a 3/3. Yeah, no, I can kill their thing with Sentinel's Mark. Let's just get in there. Save the Embrace for the next creature they play, and hopefully just outrace them with these 2 dudes. Roustabout. Okay. I think I just make him sack that, save the 1 mana to save the Pontiff if I want to. Really hope to draw land. What could they have here? Thrash, target creature you control. Does damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Yeah... I actually think I just let the Pontiff die here. Get in for more damage. Well, I don't know, that was probably wrong. They're not playing green, so I don't imagine they just play a gigantic motherfucker. Alright, yeah, see, they were just gonna kill both my creatures either way. That is not a land. So we get to play awkward cards now. We get to pretend that Kai is good. We gain 2 life if at least 1 creature is exiled, so we gotta exile 1 creature each time. I guess Kaya actually does get to dome them for a lot this game. Just played a lot of instants and sorceries and shit. Do you want to shoot my watchdog to get to Kaya? Everyone thinks Kaya's so good. She is actually good on this board. She is actually good on this board. Creature, and we'll hit the Consecrate soon.
Funny, that's what I do.
Alright, after all of the trash talking about Kaya, she's actually useful against this guy's deck because it's just a stack of removal spells, so he actually has a massive graveyard. Kaya's working out. So I'm gonna play a Grasping Thrall and we'll block their Scavenger with my Messenger. Because if Kaya gets to ultimate, it's just straight lethal. It's not literally lethal immediately, but these flyers in my deck, it's pretty good. Yeah, they're at 6 exiled. They're gonna have 7 cards exiled. They don't even attack. Oh, because I could just double block and kill their guy. Send in the Thrall, I guess.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. I'm actually playing the Guild Gate because it's possible I draw a 6 mana card next turn. I do like to sandbag gates sometimes, or lands sometimes, just to make my opponent think I might have something. But I have heard that that's not actually a good thing to do. But I like to sometimes. Alright, well, we got there. Thanks to the Kaya ult. Kaya did it, guys! Kaya won a game. I kinda want to leave her in now. So we're against a bunch of removal spells, basically. So what is good against removal spells? I think Ill-Gotten Inheritance actually would have been good because it just sits there and there's nothing they can do about it. And I think high mana cost creatures that don't replace themselves are going to be bad here. Or just any creature that doesn't replace itself. I think Watchdog will be pretty good in this match. So I think like Catacomb Crocodile's going to be pretty bad. Scavenger's probably not great, because I have to sack a creature to get it out, and then they just use a removal spell on it anyway. Most of these have Afterlife, so that's all good. Kaya's good. Inheritance should be in the 4 mana spot. I don't think I'm worried about blocking 2 creatures, so maybe we just don't run Night of Sorrows. Do have to cut 1 more card. I think Revenge is sweet against them. Revenge is probably just sweet against most decks. Never had the mana for the Knight of Last Breath again, so Maybe this is a card that you just can never afford to play. Because that's how it's turning out so far for me. Yeah. Twilight Panther actually didn't seem that great against them, but at the same time, I think I do just take out like a really high mana cost card. Maybe I just take out the Giant over the Knight of the Last Breath, because Giant gives me like 1 token, this guy gives me 3 flyers if they do something about him, so I guess I just roll like that. Alright. His hand is not very good, but I don't think it's mulliganable. Watchdog makes this hand significantly better, because now I just have something to do in the early turns. Even if it is just playing a Watchdog that literally just stands there watching. Alright, I'm drawing pretty well. I'm drawing things I can actually do. If they don't kill this Orator immediately, then I get to Blade Juggler next turn, which is very good. Noxious Grudion. If they want to trade their Death Touch 2/2 for my flat-out 2/2, that is super good with me. Nice. So we get the damage in, we Spectacle in the Blade Juggler. Again, I'm fine with trading any of my early cards for this Grudion, so if they attack, I'll just block with Blade Juggler. Undercity Scavengers. They're probably just going to sack it. Yep. Now they have a 5/5. I will make them sack the 5/5 and hit him for 5 this turn. I think that's the best play. Get in there. And we have the mana up for Watchdog. I don't think we want to spend the Watchdog on one of these little guys, though. Probably save it for the Thrall or something. Alright, I got the mana for the Thrall. I'm fine trading off one of these for their Death Touch creature. Alright, so they're going to take 2. They've probably saved some removal for stuff like this, but we still just play it out. We get to drain life from them anyway. Even if they kill it. Yep, there's a Skewer the Critics on our Thrall. And a Footlight Fiend for our Orator to die. Which it will die. Yeah! Kinda still like clearing the board. Trade a Fiend for an Orator. I could have played the Knight first to gain 1 life, but then they know like exactly what's going on. They know I don't have any Sentinel's Mark or anything like that. Here's a Knight. They're down to 2 cards in hand. I have a Revenge in hand and an Enforcer. I think I'm in a pretty good spot. I'm also at 23 and they're at 9. So unless the 2 cards in their hand were pretty good and they drew a 3rd one that's pretty good. Ooh. That's pretty nice. Dead Rebels is decent at trying to get them out of that situation. I'm not going to revenge them right now. I think I want to just make my board as big as possible and revenge them next turn and hopefully just lethal it. Saving the Footlight Fiend. Which I suppose they're saving the Footlight Fiend, that way they can sack it and get value off of doing a damage to something. But if they want to do a damage to my Oligarch and turn it into a flyer, I think that's actually beneficial for me at this point. I think I'd rather have a 1/1 flyer than a 2/1 on the ground when they have a 5/5 on the ground. Alright, so I get to put them at 3 life, and then I go to 46. I think we did it. They've got 1 mana up? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's go to 46. So they take 2. They're at 1 life. I now have 2 1/1 flyers. I guess I should have played this Plains for the Watchdog. If I lose to that, that is my fault. But I'm at 46 and they're at 1, so... yeah, that was a bit of a misplay at the end there. Should have played the land. Should have played the land before I swung. That way I would just lose my Watchdog instead of my 3/3. So I'd still have another creature attacking next turn. Actually, a 1/1 flyer might have been better. I don't know. The match worked out. That's the important part. Kaya worked out. Kaya works out against mono removal decks. Alright. Well, it has Kaya, so I don't like it, but it also has a removal spell and a flyer. I feel like Kaya's gonna be useless more often than not. Kaya's like completely useless against like Simic and Gruul, I think. Because they just like play dudes and permanents, and they just never have anything in their grave. But maybe they cast like Growth Spirals and Quenches and stuff. I'd prefer they not cast Quenches, but maybe they cast Growth Spirals. Yeah, we're playing against Teamer, that's probably the worst matchup for Kaya. I guess I can just... there's no reason not to. Just give her some counters.
Nothing phases me. Be gone.
This game showing how literally useless Kaya is. Where she is going to go onto this board and do literally nothing. 1/4 flyer. Alright.
Want something banished? Funny, that's what I do.
1/4 flyer kinda just stonewalls my deck pretty well. There is Soreform Hybrid. I think a 5/5's good on this board. Scry 2. Make them sack a creature seems good. Knight of Stars seems maybe not good. So we'll do that. Get a couple counters on him, get an Afterlife dude. I don't have anything in my deck to get things back from the grave except for Revival, which I think I'm always casting as Revenge, so... just exile my own creature to gain some life. So I think next turn I'll end up final paymenting their hybrid if they don't play anything else, so I can just start getting in there with my 5/5. I guess I don't even need to do that next turn because I don't have enough to adapt it until the turn after this turn. Mammoth Spider. So I think I swing with the Scavenger and see if I can set up some kind of bad block for them. No block. No block from opponent. Okay, I think I want to just save my cards then.
Want something banished? Funny, that's what I do.
Because I want the targeted removal that final payment gives me in case something disturbing happens, like they swing with a hybrid. And then if nothing super scary happens, then I just make them sack any creature they have. Rhythm of the Wild. Seems good. Opponent is on Teamer Rhythm. Kaya does literally nothing, so... literally, Kaya does absolutely nothing unless you have cards that are exiled. So if you're playing against the Kaya in a situation like this, unless you have a bunch of instants in your hand you want to play, I would recommend not attacking Kaya. Or also if you have tokens, I guess. I'm just gonna see what they sacrifice here. They sack the flyer, I'm super happy. Nice, because now their reach guy's tapped. happy with that. Actually, just attack with everything. I'm at plenty life. I don't care if Kaya dies. I actually get to exile one card from their grave now. So maybe Kaya's ultimate will drain them for like 2. They're gonna take 8. Nice. So I play this dude and I save a final payment up. Exile their dude.
And hit the road.
Maybe they just don't want me to keep gaining life, but I don't think they're in a spot where they should be worried about that, because I think they just shouldn't have attacked. But I could be wrong. They could have things that I'm not expecting. Like a Chillbringer, that's pretty good. Are they going to chill my 2/2 so that they can kill Kaya? That would be hilarious. Okay, no, they're going to chill my 5/5 to protect themselves. Okay, so they have a Chillbringer that's a 4/4 and a Mammoth Spider. I think I'd rather kill the Chillbringer. I'm gonna sack a creature. Sack my 1/1 flyer. So they have Mammoth Spider. So I think the 2/2 is just better. Hey! So guys. We did it? Oh wait, no, I still need one more mana. Still need one more mana for that. If I get the mana for revenge, this is gonna be a sick kill, because I'll be at like 60 life or something. I think now they do want to get rid of the Kaya, because they're at 5 life, and Kaya's only going to do 2, but it's a guaranteed 2, whereas my other creatures, they have to get past things. I am not a fan of this Knight of the Last Breath at all. I feel like he shouldn't have been in the deck. I have literally never been able to cast him, and this is my 3rd match at this point. Alright, so I kill them with Revenge into Kaya. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Alright, Kaya. Alright, you put in some work, Kaya. I played against literally the worst deck to play against with Kaya, because there's nothing in their grave until we randomly trade some creatures late game, and she still put in some work, so Kaya maybe is not so bad. I didn't see any oh wait, I saw Rhythm of the Wild. Yeah, but Rhythm gets them value when the creatures enter the battlefield. I don't know how good just destroying a Rhythm is, but I definitely like it better than the Knight. So we'll put 1 Exposed to Daylight in, because my problem is what happens if they get Rhythm out and then play a bunch of creatures and then I draw Exposed to Daylight like 7 turns later, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter, they already got their value out of it. Whereas there's other enchantments where I would be much happier to destroy at any point in the game, like pacifism style enchantments. Literally any point in the game where I can destroy those, I'm happy. Whereas if I destroy Rhythm after they've already played a bunch of creatures, I'm like, well, that wasn't that great. So that's my reasoning there for not being super excited about putting that in. But I will still put it in over the fucking 7 mana card that I could never cast. Yeah, I think I'll just run it like this. Maybe Watchdog isn't very good against them. I don't think I saw any fight spells from them, so we could take out a Watchdog, put in another Expose. But the thing is, Watchdog does something, even if they don't have a removal spell. Exposed to Daylight doesn't do anything if they don't get their 1 Rhythm that I saw out. So I'll just run the 40 like this. I'll put the one Exposed to Daylight in instead of the 7 mana Knight. Alright, this is... Good God. I'm going first. I think I have to mulligan. Jesus, Arena, come on. Could you be like... nice? That'd be sweet. That's bad. I have basically equal numbers of each color. I have like 8 of one and 7 of the other, but I'm still gonna draw like this. Meanwhile, opponent gets to just have natural 3 color on turn 2. Wouldn't it be nice? I have absolutely no gas unless I draw planes, so I'm getting rid of that immediately. Alright, there's our gas. This turned into a playable hand. Don't think it's a great hand still. I do think Pitiless Pontiff is really good against their deck. So that's nice. Oh, Senate Griffin. Well, we might just trade flyers. So I can only play one of these cards. I guess I play Oligarch, because I'm probably not attacking with the Pontiff next turn, so I would rather just not play the Pontiff until I have something that I'm okay with sacrificing for it, and I don't really want to sacrifice my flyer for it because I like it to stave off their Griffin. Now I can drop the Pontiff, and now I think we just get to stare at each other for a while, which is pretty bad for me, because that means that they get to get into their high mana cost adapts and stuff like that. Oh, Jesus. That's pretty good. Probably end up final paymenting that soon. So I don't think I want to play the Twilight Panther because it doesn't do anything on this board. And if I play Twilight Panther, I can't cast my final payment because I only have the 1 planes. Just gonna sit here and stare at each other for a while. Alright, we'll see if they've got a counter. I'll turn that into a flyer just so I have another blocker. I like it better than any of my other sacrifice options. I could have just paid the life. Maybe that would be the best. Yeah, I don't think I'm really hurting on life total at all here. Maybe I should have just paid the life. Skitter Eel, that does not actually... yeah, that does not become flying. So I can just deal with that with a Twilight Panther or a Pontiff. Ironically, Kaya would be a really good draw right now. In these drawn-out games where we're just staring at each other. They have 4 cards, though, so they probably just get to keep playing more stuff. That's a big problem if they keep playing more flyers, but if they're not flyers, it's not that terrible right now. Alright, well, do whatever voodoo you got. Gift of Strength, +3/+3, and Reach. Okay. That would have got me at any point. so now I just double block their Griffin if they ever send it in, and if they don't, I'm just gonna let the Senate Courier damage me. Everyone and their freaking quenches. Well... Am I the only person who doesn't like running 25 copies of Quench in my draft deck when I'm drafting blue? I think I am. Like, I guess I could have played around Quench by sending in the Pontiff, and then if they block with anything, sacking anything. I guess it isn't super likely that they block if I do the Pontiff attack. Oh, they're gonna do that so they can get in for 3? Okay, cute. Or 4. Alright. Well... Return an Oligarch to my hand with Revival? Or return an Oligarch to the field with Revival? That seems bad. This is really not a good spot. Opponent has got more flyers out than I do. This is what I'm talking about with the exposed to daylight. We saw one rhythm. And I guess if it was just the gigantic giant, we could have actually cast it here. That's a little awkward. Yeah, this is just a shit situation all around. Cute. Rumble and Ruin. Creatures control with power 2 or less can't block this turn. Wow. Wonderful. I'm gonna throw an Inheritance in over the Expose. And I think just run it as is now. What did I just accidentally put in? God damn it, Arena, what did you just put in? You put the Expose back in, I told you to get that out. Alright, 40 cards. This is the game where they Rhythm of the Wild on turn 3 and just kill us with gigantic fatties. This is better than last game's hand. It's still not great. It is better. Really need a land. But I have some time to get a land with this hand. Could still draw it next turn. Combine Guildmage. Okay. It's a creature you control enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter. Move a +1/+1 from a creature to another creature. Okay, cute. Another dog. Cool. Geyer Engineer. Play the dude first. So they have 5 mana this turn. Could just play like a giant flyer. That would be the biggest problem. If they just play a big ground dude, that's completely fine. I would actually like that a lot if they just play a large ground dude. Okay, so they play a griffin. Somewhat of a problem. I think I stay on the aggressive here. No blocks. Like that. Let's make a 5/5. I go Knight of Sorrow into Revenge. I'm not actually a big fan of the Knight of Sorrow, actually. Because I feel like they're just going to play something bigger, and this 3/3 body isn't going to matter. But I guess if it dies, like I get a 1/1, so this could be okay. I'm going to actually put one of these on the bottom. Because I don't need to revenge immediately in 2 turns. Well then! So much for this game of Magic. I just got ravaged. Don't really agree with them just attacking here. So, it's possible I want to cast Revival on my Pontiff, just to block this worm if something crazy happens this turn. They're just sending in. Alright, do your crazy thing. Get the strength, makes it an 8/9, perfect. Blade Juggler? I'm at 14, I can take some hits here. So I'm gonna send in and juggle. Fairy Duelist to kill my 1/1, okay. Looks like I don't get to juggle. God, opponent is on those fucking perfect responses. That's mildly irritating. I guess I'll just play Blade Juggler. Undercity's Embrace is useless right now. Kinda sucks I'm just gonna lose to this stupid mythic worm. But I have been killing people with a stupid mythic Kaya, but I feel like Kaya's a way worse card, so you earn those wins. Final payment on the worm. So not a huge fan of my position right now. I think I just pass and I final payment and Undercities Embrace them. I have to sack my Blade Juggler. God, this is rough. Are you shitting me? This is straight up retarded. Alright. Sack my messenger, I have to chump block with its 1/1. Instead of getting to actually kill a flyer. Which sucks. Kinda hard. Great. Literally all of the answers. And then there goes the 1/1 blocker. Well, opponent's deck lined up very well that game. So that was rough. We are 2 wins and 1 loss in. See if we can pivot into a 3-win here. 3 wins are where it's at. That's where you get all your gems back. That's where you go infinite. If you keep getting 3 wins, you just keep collecting cards out of it. I would like to play first. This hand is not very good. But all I need is a land, and then it's pretty alright. Terramander. Don't like seeing that. Good old Flying Min is just gonna get me here. Well, Undercity's Embrace is pretty bad here, because the Sage's Rose Savant is basically useless anyway, so they'll just sack that. I guess now that they have 2 2/1s, it's not that bad. Because, like, 1/2/1 is just always going to get blocked by Watchdog, but if they have 2/2/1s, then at some point they can attack with both of them and one of them gets around for a turn. Alright. Let's play our messenger. We will block your Pteramander if that's how it's going to be. Territorial Boar. Alright. Watchdog is putting in a lot of work against this deck. They've got some 2-power creatures. Granted, the Boar is often going to be a 3/3 with Vigilance, so it won't always work against that. I think I'd rather play the Vampire here than the Pontiff, even though that lets me save my Watchdog mana up. Go ahead and hit him for 2. Pontiff would let me save Watchdog and Pontiff mana up. I think there's a decent argument towards that. I really would have liked to have a land to play Racketeers here, but Racketeers wouldn't even be that crazy on this board, because they have multiple 2-toughness blockers over there. So it's not like I'm going to get them to discard a card. Code of Constraint. Does not untap in my next turn? Yeah, okay. They get to get in there for 1 for a couple turns, and I guess I don't get to get in there anymore. If I attack with a Vampire, I trade my Watchdog for their Boar. If they block, and it'll deal a damage. Yeah, I really want to trigger this Blade Juggler, so I'm going to attack with the Vampire. If they don't block, that's sweet. If they do, I'll sack the Watchdog, so my Watchdog will be gone, but do what you gotta do to juggle. Not a bad draw. Sentinel's Mark is pretty strong. Soroform Hybrid. And a Soroform Hybrid. Well, we gotta hope they don't get to 6 mana, or things could be pretty bad. So I can just play Racketeers, which I don't think is that good right now. I think I want to just Sentinel's Mark Messenger, get in there. Then I can just block their Pteramander easy. And I can play a Pontiff and have the mana up for it. They have 1 instant in their grave, so it costs them 7 mana to adapt. They have 5 mana right now. Play a big ol' Renhorn, that is okay. I can just trade a Blade Juggler for that, thanks to Pitiless Pontiff. Final Payment. I like that. I think I prefer saving my mana over playing the Racketeers. Because I can't play the Racketeers and Final Payment or use Pontiff's ability or anything like that. If I get if I drew a land this turn, I would have just played land and Racketeers. But Final Payment wants me to just leave that mana back for Pontiff and Payment. They are really thinking. Alright, take that 3. And the turn. Yeah, if I just slam down the Racketeers here, I don't have good blocks for the Rendhorn anymore. Which is kind of a problem. Well, let's see if they just let me trade my Juggler. Fairy Duelist. Okay. So I basically just chumped for my Juggler right now, which is cute. Or chumped with my Juggler right now. It's not actually that tremendously good. I could sack the Sentinel's Mark to final payment right now. Their Terramander, I guess. Just go to my turn. Undercity Scavenger. It's not a great draw right now. I don't have really any sacrifice fodder. Send in with the Messenger. Block with the Fairy Duelist. Alright, kill that. And again, can't save final payment up if I play the Scavenger. So I think I final payment sacking Sentinel's Mark next turn. If I need to. Yeah, I can final payment sacking Sentinel's Mark. I can block Rendhorn sacking Messenger. But that's just a really bad position that I've gotten into now, because they've made it to 6 mana, so they can upgrade their Terramander, they can upgrade their hybrids. I'm kind of screwed, because essentially they have they have a 4/2, 2 6/6s, a 5/5, a 2/1, and a 5/5 flyer. This seems kind of impossible to win. I'm gonna actually just not block that. Because they are down to 10 and they only have 1 flying blocker. They have the Steeple Creeper as well, I guess. I think I have to just play Racketeers and use it as chump blockers. I'm gonna play another Rendhorn. I guess in that case I don't want to shoot the Terramander just yet. I can't keep saving up final payment forever. This is so bad, but I'm just gonna save it up. Okay, yeah, see, because now we got to kill the Terramander without even using the final payment. Now we have mana for final payment and Pontiff. They're on a 4-turn clock from the Messenger. It'll be a 5-turn clock if... Jesus. Let's do it like this, and hopefully they pay the mana on that hybrid. Otherwise I'm going to have to Pontiff my Vindictive Vampire. I don't want to do that. Could actually just do this. But then I'm definitely Pontiffing my Vindictive Vampire. It also clears out their board more. This is probably bad, but it's what I'm doing. Which one is adapting? I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, that's what the arrow says. Okay. So we will... Yeah, we'll sack this. And we'll final payment sack Sentinel's Mark for that. I love the ooze noises, they're so nasty. I think that actually put me in a really good spot now. So I attack for 2. I get to play... I don't get to play Racketeers yet still, because I have to save mana up for Pontiff to kill the hybrid. So I can play Scavenger and just not sack a thing. Which is kind of lame, but I think it's where we're at. Steeple Creeper is slightly a problem. Like, yeah, they can 4 me this turn since I don't have a flyer untapped right now. But I don't think it's that big of a problem because I have the Racketeers to get more flyers out of here. I'm gonna block the hybrid. I still think the hybrid's a bigger problem, so I'll kill the hybrid. Oh, what am I doing? I can save the damage. I can just not take damage by doing this. Submit. Really hope to draw land. Land would be really, really good. Perfect. It's Racketeer time, baby. If they want to hit me with a Steeple Creepers, that's fine with me. If they want to trade their Savant for me getting some Afterlife Boys, that's fine with me. Alright. I got a field of flyers. Let's go. You're at 6. Mammoth Spider. Well... Sometimes your opponents just top deck the actual perfect card multiple times in a row. My opponent has not top decked the perfect card. I'm just saying after last round, how that ended. It's mildly frustrating. .exe. I mean, at least I can just get in there with the Pontiff 3 more times and they die. This Pontiff is so good. Alright. Gotta top deck something good again. Alright. On to game 2. I think our deck's pretty well matched against that. I think Kaya's even okay against that because they ended up with a lot of cards in the grave. Yeah, I don't really want to change much of anything. Didn't see anything I really needed to expose to daylight. Didn't really want to have gotten inheritance at any time. I like just dropping dudes on the board. We'll see. This hand's bad. I can't do anything till like turn 4. We've seen what happens when I mulligan on this program. I get stuck with 2 swamps and all white cards and stuff, so let's listen to what the program is telling us. Incubation Druid, that's a very nice card. Might just lose to them ramping out cards real fast. But I'm still not gonna final payment the Druid. Axe Bane Beast. Alright. Not gonna payment that either. Oh boy. Opponent is on mono green right now. So maybe that's how we win? No. They just got an island immediately. Okay, Skitter Eel. That can be a 5/5. I really don't like paying the 5 life here. But I guess the thing is, like, those creatures are probably going to do more than that to me. But here's a Vindictive Vampire. I think this hand was just far too slow. I think I'm just gonna get crushed by these dudes before I really establish anything on this board. Just sending in the Incubation Druid, because it can be a 3/5. Okay. You got me. God, all I got are like 5 mana cards now. This guy can block 2 things. I think Vindictive Vampire is still not blocking. Rampaging Redhorn. Giving it the hasties. We're going to block the biggest damage, which is we'll block the 4 and the 5. Put the Skitter Eel up front, that way they have to do the adapt. And they did. We drain them for 1, we get a 1/1 chump blocker. Six mana now, so I could play Scavenger and Sentinel's Mark or Final Payment. So do I play Scavenger, make it a 5/5 so I can actually block and kill something, and then hope to scry into something good? Suppose I should have attacked first. Misplay on my part. Watchful Giant, do you actually do anything here? 3/6 with the 1/1? Yeah, you do. Yeah, I'll take the Watchful Giant, put the land on bottom. And now we're saving Sentinel's Mark or Final Payment. I don't want to block with the Vampire, but I'll probably have to. Like, unless they just decide not to attack, then I will have to block with the Vampire. And Final Payment to throw the Vampire at something. Okay. So... I think we block there. Block there. Throw the Vampire at the Eel. Take 3. Another Rampaging Redhorn. This one's going to be a 5/5, so that's really hard to block. But I've got a 3/6. That'll block that boy. I completely forgot about the Watchful Giant I scried to the top. We're still probably dead. They probably have like a pump or something, and I just die. But if not, this is a stabilizing board right here. Uh-oh. Don't like them attacking. Mammoth Spider. Ooh, if we stabilize this game, this shit is legit. Revenge? Revenge them to 8. I go up to 8. Thrall takes 2 from them, so I go up to 6 life. It's really unfortunate I don't have enough mana to Sentinel's Mark and do something else. So they have... Good God. So they attack. Block their 5/5 with my 3/6. Block a 3/5 with my 5/5. Chump a 3/5, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to gain some life this turn. The question is the Thrall better or is the Revenge better right now? I think the Thrall's better because it actually puts something on my board. Or I could just play the Racketeers as another blocker. And it's many blockers. Oh, this is rough. This is rough all around. I'm going to play the Thrall because it can possibly block the boar and kill it. without dying. Like, not if they play a creature this turn. If they play a big creature this turn, but I'm probably still just dead regardless. Because then they just have, like, way too many big creatures. Okay. Just gonna block that. We're gonna kill the spider. We're gonna chump the druid, take 3. Oh, good lord. They have another mammoth spider. That might just be game. Okay, Death Touch is really nice right now. So I can Death Touch and I can Sentinel's Mark. Which I can Sentinel's Mark my flyer to gain some life, and then it can also just block their 3/4. So I'll do that. The alternative would be to Sentinel's Mark the Scavenger, because then I gain a little more life. And I can just block the 5/5. Oh, they didn't even block with their spider for some reason. There's the Sauroform Hybrid, which is a 6/6. So Sentinel marking the Scavenger does look pretty good now. Oh, and I have a Watchdog to give... Wow, I think I'm stabilizing. Because they've got their Reach guy, but it's not big enough to kill the Thrall, so I just get to get in there for some damage. Yep. And now I have the Watchdog. Oh wait, it only has lifelink the turn you play it. So that's kind of sad. But yeah, I get to play the Watchdog and save the mana up. That way I can block something with Death Touch with the Enforcer. And I can block something with the Watchdog, and then I can make the Enforcer indestructible so I can kill multiple of their giant creatures. This isn't like super stabilizing, but it is stabilizing-ish. If that makes any sense. Of course, they could just draw something that breaks through this at any point. There are cards that do so. Alright, that's an Axebane Beast. Alright. I think attacking is still bad for them, and they agree. They do not attack. Final payment. They've got 7 cards on board. I can have 6 blockers here, along with a mana to make a thing indestructible. So I don't need final payment just yet. Oh, Lord. That's really bad. They just got to get 2 permanents back from their grave, so they just get double of the Rendhorn. If they give it haste, I think I'm actually just fine with that right now. So if I can survive this turn and next turn, then I can final payment their Mammoth Spider and kill them with Revenge. Ooh. I might be able to just kill them with Revenge here, because I can have 1, 2, 3. I can have 3 more flyers. Revenge puts them at 5 life. So all I need to do is make sure I have 5 power of flyers on the Crackback. So, first of all, we're going to block the biggest thing with the Hybrid. We're going to block the second biggest thing with the Watchdog. And then sack the Watchdog onto the Enforcer. We're going to block the 4 power with our 5/5. We're going to block the... Well, I suppose we can block the 3/5 with our 5/5. Block the 4/4 with our 4/5. Block 3/5 with a 3/2. Block Axebane Beast with that, and then this way I go to 1 life. And we can make that indestructible because our Racketeers will die, so we'll still have enough flyers, so just in case they somehow don't die this turn, it's slightly better to still have the Death Touch guy. And And we kill him? I go to 2, they go to 5. Oh my god. Revenge is so good. Oh. And the name of that card is so good too, because of like what I just said being a pun, even though I didn't even intend it to be a pun. Wizards, you guys are geniuses. Hey, that's my second copy of Angel of Grace that I've got as a random win reward while drafting. Well, we made it. 3 wins, going infinite. That is the last 3 traditional drafts I've done now, being at least 3 wins, so that I get all my gems back. And more packs, so I'm just like amassing a collection here off these Ravnica Allegiance drafts. Very happy with how they've been going. When I did my very first draft, it went really poorly and I didn't get any gems out of it, so I didn't get to draft again for another like week basically. But now it's just like I'm just daily drafting because I'm getting pretty lucky. It's working out. All right. Arena, come on. Come on. That's okay. This game's basically just for fun at this point. This doesn't look fun, though, because this hand's even worse than the first one. I have no action till turn 4. Oh my god. Okay. Ironically, this 5-card hand is better than my 7 and 6-card hand, so I'm happy with this mulligan. Because I actually have action on turn 2. Or just action before turn 4, even if I don't draw the correct lands and stuff. So we're playing against Azorius at the least. We could be playing against 3-color. Looks like they're still just straight Azorius for now. We've got all of the mana to play our Messenger, which is sick. Go ahead and get in there, send out an Oligarch, and hopefully they don't have any early game plays. Essence capture on the Oligarch. They don't get the counter onto one of their creatures, which is good for me that at least I got a tiny bit of value out of their hands. Oh, they're playing High Alert! Oh, please tell me they're doing it. If I lose to this deck, I'm gonna be happy. This is a great place for the win streak to end. So High Alert, of course, all of their creatures deal damage equal to their toughness instead of their power, and their defenders are allowed to attack. So they could just like drop a Junk Troller this turn, and then I'm like, oh dear god. But it looks like they're a little stuck on cards here. They could have that 3-mana counterspell, which would suck. They could also have a flash card, like a... oh yeah, Fairy Duelist, but that doesn't really do much, if anything. Oh yeah, it's a 2/2 now, thanks to High Alert. So that is better than usual. They get to kill my little grounded 2/2, but he wasn't doing that much. These messengers are a lot better. Opponent plays planes. They probably play their own messenger, and then I'm just sad. But, you know, losing to High Alert is pretty cool. Oh, nice. The Nombo. They made their Senate Griffin a 2/2 instead of a 3/2. Alright, I will be a little sad if I lose to High Alert if they don't play anything cool with it, like a Junk Troller or a wall of any kind. They've got to play like at least one wall, and then I'll respect it. So I could just like resummon the Oligarch. I guess they can double block a messenger here, and I just get to kill one of their guys. Yep, I'll kill the Griffin. I really would have liked to land there. Yeah, like I could resurrect either of these 2-mana cards, but I don't know. I don't want to do that and then end up in a position where Revenge would have killed them, but at the same time, I'm not guaranteed to draw a lot of lands here, so let's just get the Oligarch back. Try to keep the pressure on. Hopefully they can't really play anything crazy this turn. Or if they can't cast anything at all, that would be extra sweet. Sky Tether on the Oligarch. Very suspicious, I think. I got a Watchdog, so whatever they were going to do to my messenger might not kill it anymore. Maybe they were just going to put it back in my hand or something. Oh, just make it an 0-3? Yeah! That's pretty good. Definitely siding in my enchantment removal. So I'm kind of disappointed in the high alert so far. High alert so far for them has been give 2 of your creatures +1/+0 and 1 of your creatures -1/-0. Not the coolest thing that I've ever seen. Yeah, guess I can sack the Oligarch to get a 1/1 flyer and I can kill off their angel. That seems good. That's really the only play I've got. Unfortunately, the way it works, I cannot sacrifice their enchantments. Even though they are enchanted on my creature, they're still technically owned by them. So, sacrifice the Oligarch. Well, yeah, the messenger can still block as well. Get rid of that angel. Pass the turn. A land would be really good. It would have been really good that turn, because then I could have just played my Racketeer and killed their 3/4 next turn. I just really want to get this Racketeer out before they get something that doesn't just trade for it. Because all they have is something that just trades for it. Then I just sack the Watchdog to make sure that Racketeers can get in the next turn. Not drawn any lands. I'm very happy with the play that I made, using the Revival instead of the Revenge, because I have not gotten a land in a long time. So now I just start attacking with the Twilight Panther, I suppose. Sentinel's Mark? Sentinel's Mark turns one of my flyers into a 2/3. Yeah, we got nothing else to do. This is where this game stands. This is the game plan. Let's see what cards they've got in their hand, because they haven't been playing them. It's very possible that they are not just lands. So let's find out. Destroy target artifact or enchantment and scry 1. They have that in their main deck. Sentinel's Mark is the only enchantment in my deck. So that could have just been a dead card the whole game. So I'm not a fan of that choice from our opponent in terms of deck building. I tend to get pretty irritated when my opponent main decks a card that's like, well, that card would have been completely useless against the last deck I built, but it's actually pretty good against this deck, so fuck me, I guess. You know? Alright, I'll sacrifice the messenger. Kaya? Do you want Kaya? I guess I'll go land to play Racketeers into Kaya the turn after. Because maybe they've just run out of stuff to do by that point, and I just slowly get there. They have 6 cards in their grave. It looks like all they're doing is just removal spells, which that doesn't affect Kaya, so... yeah, I have a plan. The plan is Kaya. Alright. Can we be a Racketeer? Nice! It resolved. Now we get to see if they have even more removal. It seems like all of their removal has been enchantment based so far. Ooh, they got their 4/4 flyer. Well, that's pretty sick. That's horrific timing for me. But yeah, just deal with it. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to attack with it, but like it's very likely that was just gonna happen anyway. See, like now they just don't block. So thanks, Arena, for that one. They probably wouldn't have blocked anyway, but like I wouldn't have had to spend the mana if they didn't block.
This will be child's play.
What are the non-land permanents with CMC 1 or less? They're all on my field, so let's not do that. We're going to exile one creature, one non-creature. We're going to gain 2 life. I am going to chump block
Really good advantage.
the Senate Courier if it goes for Kaya, I guess. Because Kaya can do a big drain if it gets there. Or if she gets there. Yep. So we found the one card that High Alert is actually really good on. The rest of their cards is just like, a little bit. Wow. Let's continue the perfect answers. Deputy of Detention is also quite good with High Alert. So now I'm seeing their synergies. Now they're getting there. Alright, goodbye, Kaya. You lasted for like 5 seconds. As you do.
You better watch your back from here on out.
Shut up, Kaya. Watch your own back, you fool. You're the one who just died. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna just lose to this deck. Now we get to go there with the Twilight Panther. Exposed to Daylight is insanely good against them, though. They have a bunch of enchantment-based removal. They have High Alert. I don't think their deck does much of anything if you can just get rid of all their enchantments. Probably going to end up attacking with this Racketeers at some point, just to turn it into flyers to block things. Final Payment is nice. Yeah, I can Final Payment the Courier. That's actually very nice right now. We're going to sacrifice the Scavenger. Ooh, no. Do not target the Scavenger. Sacrifice. Target the Courier, sacrifice the Scavenger. Ooh! I wonder how many times people have paid or played Final Payment the wrong way. Alright, yeah, now I'm actually in a pretty good spot, I think. Because Racketeers can hopefully start making them discard. Because I'm just going to sack a Watchdog if they block the Racketeers. So I can try to make them discard next turn instead. Okay, they're going to make it a 1-2. They're going to do it on the Panther. So they can finally deal with that. I am more of a fan of them trying to deal with that than trying to deal with the Racketeers. Okay. Yeah. I still like Watchdogging here. Racketeers is not going to be able to get in there because they did have more creatures. So they just block it again next turn. It's also late enough in the game that there's no reason for them to keep anything in their hand, so the Racketeers actually isn't that good hitting them. Gate Colossus. Well, it's a good thing Exposed to Daylight is good against literally every other threat in your deck. Because now Exposed to Daylight is also super good against Gate Colossus. I am super dead right now, though. I think I just trumped the Colossus. I don't think that there's any combination of cards I could draw to win at this point. But we might as well play as though there is, to scare our opponent into thinking our deck is better than it is. Blade Juggler? If I play Blade Juggler, I just die to the Gate Colossus, unless I draw something hot, like, immediately. So, let's see. Let's get our spectacle on so that I can actually cast whatever it is. Do not pay double white. What on earth? Why are you so bad? Auto Tapper. I don't know if you saw that, but it was defaulting to paying both of my planes for this. Alright. What do we got? Knight of Sorrows. Pretty bad. There's an Azori Skyguard. So now I can't block anymore because my dude has one less power. Continuing on with the chain of perfect answers. Disturbingly, suspiciously perfect answers. Alright, let's throw in the exposes. Take out... Liked most of the cards. Probably just take out some of these random giant dorks again. Take out a Knight of Sorrows and a Watchful Giant. The game lasted a very long time, so maybe we throw in our own Ill-Gotten Inheritance instead of our big boy. Because they're... I don't know, maybe we still just keep in the big boy. They did have the enchantment. They had the Exposed to Daylight, and it actually did something, so I could take out Sentinel's Mark. And then that's literally just a dead card in their deck, because they probably keep it in, because they're like, oh yeah, that did something, that worked. So now this game I could just not have any enchantments in my deck, and that way if they ever draw that card, it's like I just made them discard a card. And I got a tiny bit of card advantage that way, so yeah, I'll run it like this. We'll go no... we'll go the no enchantment build. Turns out opponent does the same thing. Sideboards out, they're like 10 enchantments that I saw. And they're Gate Colossus. This hand is better. Did I mold to 5 in the first game? I think I might have molded to 5 in the first game as well. The games all tend to blur together when you play so much Magic. One traditional draft is just, it's a lot of Magic. It's up to 7 rounds of Magic. Meanwhile, if you just play a draft at your local game store, you're just playing 3 rounds, you get some downtime in between the rounds. But I guess the idea for getting downtime on this is to just literally stop whatever you want. Go grab a drink and stuff, but I don't do that because I'm filming. Alright, get in there, Oligarch. You got the Vigilance. If they want to trade for a Fairy Duelist trigger, then that is fine with me. Hello, Kaya's here.
I like a good
Exile nothing! Aha! Did you know Kaya is super good, guys? I kind of want to draft Kaya every time I see her now, because it's kind of enjoyable literally just to shit-talk her. Alright, the odds of them having that stupid flying dickhole are more likely now? Okay, they don't. Good. I get to Syndicate Messenger. They just have a counterspell? Essence capture. Okay. Yet again, got them to just use the essence capture before they could even put a counter on anything, so that's cool. I don't like the double exposed to daylight. That's quite a draw. Double your sideboard cards. When they have not played any of their enchantment removal yet, or their high alert. I think literally any artifact or enchantment they play, I'm just going to expose it to at least scry one. Nice, we did it! We did it! It's a scry one. Yeah, what's on top? That's a land, get out of here. Here's a Guild Gate. Here's a Kaya. Get out of their Slime Bind. So I can drain them for 2 with her -5 now. We're starting to get there. Drain our opponent for 2. Let's go, Kaya. I mean, if they get any Afterlife tokens, that's cute too. Because now I have just so much loyalty on her, I just get to go ham with that. Alright, so they're just playing a 1/3 to exile my dude. And I still draw land. That is many lands. Yeah, I've seen 6, 7, 8 lands already. I literally have no plays here. I guess I can just plus Kaya and gain a little bit of life, because I have no way to get a 4-mana creature back. I could also have just minused her to drain them for 2 life, but then they just get to kill Kaya immediately. Whereas, like, that dude's a 1/3, it's not going to kill Kaya when Kaya's at 7. And if they want to try, then they are welcome to. And if they want to hit me, they are extra welcome to, because I just gain life off Kaya. Great. Let's hit our 9th land that we've seen. Sounds like the right thing to do. It's like, now I could drain them. Now might be the time to drain them, but then if they have any of the, like, Flash Flyer or something, they get to kill Kaya. I'm just gonna put her at, like, 1,000,000 counters, and that way she'll get to sit here all game, and I can just wait to drain them until I've actually exiled a lot of cards. Senate Courier. 1/4. Well, I got a dude. I think at this point I will just, like, drain them for a couple life. She's at so many counters, why not? She's not doing anything else but just amassing more plus counters. They probably have a removal for this messenger, though, but it could be enchantment-based. But at the same time, they have their 2 best creatures with high alert out on the field right now, so I might want to save the expose for a high alert. But the fact that they haven't played it this far means it's tucked away somewhere in their deck. These are both coming at me. That's fine. I've got a lot of life. Kaya's just gonna keep getting me more life really slowly, but she will. Another? You have 2 Deputy of Detention? I feel like my opponent's deck has a lot of loose cards, but also just insane bombs. I'm not a huge fan of just losing to these insane dudes.
Want something banished? Funny, that's what I do.
Sick. So I get to destroy that after they declare an attack and just nut them out of nowhere. Very, very happy with that. That's going at me, that's going at me, that's going at me. Alright. Scry 1. It's a Blade Juggler. Probably will damage them this turn. I'll keep that on top. Wow! Wouldn't it be nice? Well, even if I didn't damage them this turn, I have like 1,000,000 mana anyway, so we're still gonna juggle into another land. Sorry for my intense irritation right now, but I am playing against Azorius double Deputy of Detention with a pump spell for fun?
I'm better at dodging.
Oh my god. That's a terrible draw. I guess I get rid of the courier. So that's great. To gain life as well. Off that.
I hope you said your goodbyes already.
Skyguard's a really good play for them.
You call that an attack?
So if I could draw, like, not lands, be awesome. Thank you, Arena. That is exactly what I asked for. Let's gain some life. I've drawn 10 lands and my opponent has drawn 6. And I've scryed one away. Excuse me. So I've seen 11 lands so far. Means there's only 6 left in this 20. That's not a good draw. Well, they got the Gate Colossus, so this round is over. And I did lose to the High Alert deck, which I said I'd be the happiest to lose to the High Alert deck. But I don't know who's ever happy to lose to double Deputy of Detention. That just seems like not a thing. That anyone can ever just, like, respect. Good old Watchdog that can't block because Gate Colossus is a card. Well, and the Skyguard. If they didn't have the Skyguard, then I could actually block the Colossus with my Blade Juggler as a chump. But nope, I do not get to block anything. I am honestly, like, really not a fan of Gate Colossus. It just gives literally any deck in 8/8, like, that can come back multiple times, because most decks are going to have at least their own guild gates. Whereas I really like the Gatekeeper Gargoyle, because that actually incentivizes you to play it in the Gate deck. It could be insane in the Gate deck, and then it could be a giant flyer, but only if you had a bunch of gates. Whereas the Gate Colossus, you don't need a single gate, and that card's really good. And if you have 2 gates, like a regular deck, then that card's just, like, the best top-end card, period. I don't know. It is a lot of mana. So I guess the plan is you just gotta kill your opponent before you play it. But the fact that they could be playing literally any guild, and they have an 8 mana 8/8 that can't be blocked by 2 or less power, it's just, it's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. But that was my 4th traditional Ravnica draft. It went pretty well. We got the 3 wins, so I'm happy about that. That last deck, though, was ridiculous. Got double Deputy of Detention, and just crushed by a Gate Colossus. Even had the creature that could chump block it, but not, like, not after they made all my creatures have 1 less power with their flyer guy. Like, opponent's deck was pretty sick. And these packs were really good. I got 2 Shocklands and a couple random cards. I got the Green Enchantment and the Rixmati Reveler, but I got 2 Shocklands. Got a Blood Crypt and a Hollowed Fountain, so real good packs overall. So yeah, pretty happy with that draft. Ended with good packs, ended with 1,500 gems right back into my collection, so I can hop onto another traditional Ravnica draft tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you.